Hi, it's Benji on Benji 84.0 movie review time. In this video, I'm going to briefly review the 2007 comedy movie, The Heartbreak Kid. As always, I don't include clips in my reviews or any of my videos, and I will save my rating out of 10 until the end. I'll try and avoid spoiling it too much. It's a comedy though, although I will try and avoid spoiling it completely. I won't spoil it completely anyway. The Heartbreak Kid came out in October 2007. It cost $60 million to make, and it made $128.5 million back at the box office, so reasonable return there. I actually watched it at the cinema in October 2007 or around that time. I remember looking forward to it coming out. I actually saw it advertised when I watched the Simpsons movie at the cinema in the summer of 2007, if I remember rightly. That was disappointing, the Simpsons movie. That's not what this video is about. This is about The Heartbreak Kid. The Heartbreak Kid was directed by Bobby and Peter Farrelly, the Farrelly brothers, that famously directed Dumb and Dumber, that I don't particularly like. You might. There's something about Mary. There's a bowling movie they directed. I think it's called Kingpin. That's pretty hilarious. Me, Myself and Irene. That's hilarious. That might warrant a separate video. In fact, it will. What else? Shallow Hal. It's okay. Amongst other movies. Now, the thing with the Farrelly brothers, they were known for gross out comedies. I know that one of them directed a much more serious movie much more recently called Green Book. It won an Oscar for Mahershala Ali. His second Oscar. It's a serious movie, not a comedy at all. Also, a movie came out in 2024 on Amazon Prime called Ricky Stenicki. That is a lame, tame version of this type of movie. And that's one of the Farrelly brothers. I don't think it's both of them. Ricky Stenicki. It stars John Cena, the former wrestler. He's quite funny. He's quite good in it as Ricky Stenicki. It's just nothing like this, though. There's even a trigger warning at the start. So anyway, this stars Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller was 41 or 42 at the time. One of the key things about The Heartbreak Kid, it's a remake of a 1972 movie that I haven't seen, that stars the late Charles Grodin, who was excellent. And I was reading a bit about Charles Grodin when I was preparing to make this video, and he was a really interesting person, Charles Grodin. He's in one of my all-time favourite movies, Midnight Run, 1988's Midnight Run with Robert De Niro. That will also warrant a separate video at some point. So Charles Grodin starred in the original in 1972, and that co-stars Sybil Shepherd, who at the time would have been 22. Charles Grodin would have been 37. And she was very good looking, Sybil Shepherd. If you don't know who she is, she's in 1976's Taxi Driver. She'd have been 26 in that. She's the very attractive blonde that Robert De Niro takes out on an absolutely terrible date. Robert De Niro's character, Travis Bickle. And now that makes it sound light-hearted. Taxi Driver is not light-hearted. If you know what it is, you obviously know that. Anyway, this is the remake. Ben Stiller's 41, 42. Reasonable stand-in for Charles Grodin, actually. Ben Stiller. This is much more outrageous, though, I guarantee, than the 72 movie would have been. I won't mention that again. It's a remake. I haven't seen the original. So you like good-looking women? Well, you got three in this. Now, I don't normally like blondes in general. I don't normally go for them. I'm not saying I'd rule all blondes out. However, in general, they're not to my particular taste. However, I will point out that there are three very, very good-looking women in this movie. One of them is played by Marlene Akerman, and she plays I'll get to it. Marlene Akerman, she was 29 at the time, Swedish, tall, blonde, blue eyes, tanned. She actually played the Silk Spectre 2 in Watchmen, the Watchmen movie. I think that was 2009, so a couple of years after this. You might know her from that. If you like blondes, you like her. You might even consider her a dime piece, 10 out of 10. I'll come to the other two in a minute. So basically, Ben Stiller's in his early 40s in this. He plays Eddie, and his dad, the late Jerry Stiller, Ben Stiller's actual real life dad, who was a comedian as well, the late Jerry Stiller, plays his dad in this, and he's an outrageously offensive old man. He's hilarious. Jokes that would never ever fly now. That's one of the things that makes this funny. And he's on his case because Eddie's not married yet and he's in his 40s. Well, or he's on his case because Eddie's also not. I think, yeah, Eddie's just broken up with, he's had a breakup from a serious relationship. I've not watched this in a while. I have watched it quite a few times, though, at the cinema, and I have it on DVD. And his dad's on his case because he's not out there womanising. And he also has this very lame friend called Mac, played by Rob Corddry, who is in this lame simp marriage with this awful woman that tells him what to do. And so Rob Corddry, Mac, is on his case as well because he's a simp. He's a blue pill beta male simp, and he's caught in the marriage trap. Now, to be honest, this film doesn't do a very good job of making marriage look good, so I approve of that as well, because I'm against marriage for men. If you haven't picked that up yet. Certainly videos that I've had up in the past that are no longer up, I've made that clear. So his dad's on his case because Eddie's not out womanising, and his dad is. His dad, I guess, is in his 80s in this, and he's out womanising, 70s or 80s, probably 80s. He's out there womanising and having a good time. He makes some hilarious comments, including right from the start of the movie, and every scene he's in, his dad. Eddie's dad, played by Ben Stiller's real life dad, the late Jerry Stiller. He's on his case because Eddie's not out womanising. Mac wants him in the trap too. Misery loves company. Wants his mate Eddie to be married too. He kind of emotionally manipulates him a bit, saying, you know, do you want to be the dad in his 70s at the school events with his offspring? And that kind of gets to Eddie. So Eddie's under pressure in his early 40s. Anyway, Rob Corddry's character, Mac, it was the first time I ever heard the phrase happy wife, happy life. It literally was. And it's taking the piss, all right. Happy wife, happy life. No, he's a broken beta male blue pill simp. Mac's hilarious and he's pathetic. And Eddie tries to go down that route. So he meets Marlon Akerman, and her, I can't remember what her character's called. Let's have a look. I wrote it down. Marlon Akerman. I think she's called Lila. Yeah, she's called Lila. And they hit it off. She's really good looking. So he's attracted to her. And so they get married within weeks of meeting each other, which is just utterly ridiculous. There's a red pill lesson for you. You don't get married within weeks of meeting a woman. I don't care how good looking she is. That's ridiculous. Anyway, they get married within weeks. It is literally weeks they get married. And then they go on a honeymoon to this really nice looking resort in Mexico. I think it's Cabo. I've not been there. I think that's what it is. A really nice looking resort, a really great honeymoon to go on. You know, they're just married. They haven't slept together yet. And there are a lot of hilarious scenes of the two of them sleeping together. Very graphic sex scenes between the two of them. Hilarious, play for laughs. Look, in terms of a comedy, don't get me wrong there. This is a raunchy, R-rated comedy. It was 15 rated here, all right? I don't mean they're literally... It's simulated for the film and it's played for laughs. It's hilarious. Again, some of it would just not get made now. It really is hilarious. It got bad reviews. Of course it did. Who cares? Hack shill reviewers. I don't give a shit what they think, what they're paid to think and say. So he goes on this honeymoon with Lila, and he realises that to him she's a nightmare. He's quite buttoned up, Eddie, like Ben Stiller's character in Along Came Polly, a little bit like him. That's quite good as well. I recommend that too. I think that came out in 2003. That's quite good for a romantic comedy. It's got Jennifer Aniston in it at her best, looking at her best. She's always been a particular favourite of mine, Jennifer Aniston. And it's got the late Seymour Hoffman. I can't remember his name. The first name of Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it too. He's very funny in it. The late Philip Seymour Hoffman. That's good. Along Came Polly. You get that one as a bonus. Hank Azaria's in there. That's funny. You get that as a bonus. It's not as good as this or as outrageous. It's more of a straightforward romantic comedy. It's still quite good. Eddie decides he doesn't like Lila. Lila is a free spirit with a past. I mean, he could have vetted her. He misses loads of red flags. He's an idiot, Eddie. Now it's too late. He's in his 40s. He's allowed himself to be pressured into getting married in a hurry. and he's regretting it on the honeymoon. And then he meets a particular favourite of mine. Michelle Monaghan plays Miranda, and Michelle Monaghan would have been 31 at the time. And Michelle Monaghan plays Angela Gennaro in the movie Gone Baby Gone. She's a great actress. She's also in the first season of True Detective. She's in lots of things, and even now she's only 49, and this movie's 18 years old. Now, in my opinion, Michelle Monaghan is a dime piece. I think she's exceptionally attractive. The Miranda character is very endearing, very likeable. I can see why Eddie likes her. I don't agree. She does smoke. Whoa, in it. That's not for me. That to me is a deal-breaking red flag. That's a topic for another video, actually. I was just giving me a topic there, thinking about that. Other than that, she's endearing. She's very attractive, Michelle Monaghan, brunette. And I can see why he likes her. However, he's a married man, and he then pursues an attempted affair, and this is where the spoilers are going to end, with Miranda, played by Michelle Monaghan, while he's on his honeymoon with Lila. It's at the same resort, so lots of hilarity ensues, and it goes from there. Now, just so there you go, two beautiful women in it. A blonde, if you like blondes, a tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Swedish actress who's tanned, or if you like more natural-looking brunettes. Michelle Monaghan, a particular favourite of mine. I will say basically a dime piece in this, in my opinion. She has a lot of character to her as well. She's an endearing character in this, and she's a great actress. She's talented. I'm going to guess she might be quite intelligent, or at least thoughtful with her performances. And later on, Ava Longoria is in it. I think Ava Longoria was 32 at the time. Now, I saw a picture of Ava Longoria from 2024 where she would have been, 49? Still looks damn good to me. So Ava Longoria, an indisputable dime piece. I particularly like Latin American women. I also like Italian women. So yeah, Ava Longoria at 32, absolute knockout, dime piece. And it's not an opinion; it's indisputable. Particularly if you like Latin American women. She's, like I said, I saw a picture of her from 2024 where she's 49. She still looks damn good. Ava Longoria. So anyway, yeah, Eddie is the Heartbreak Kid because he's on his honeymoon with Lila, and he's also pursuing an affair with Miranda. But not a good guy, really, is he, Eddie? And he's put himself in this situation. And the thing is, right, he comes across as this Mr. Nice Guy, like blue pill beta male simp, like his mate Mac. And he's really not. He's actually an arsehole, to be honest with you. He's not nice to Lila. And he's running around carrying on an affair on his honeymoon. It's hilarious. It wouldn't get made now. I highly recommend it. Who else is in it? There's a character called Uncle Tito, who's played by Carlos Mencia, a stand-up comedian. Uncle Tito. He's funny. He works at the hotel. He's the manager or the owner of the hotel. What else have we got? So it's an hilarious movie. Now I just had a quick look to see if it's on streaming. Now here in Britain it's on Paramount. I don't have Paramount, however I have this on DVD. So if you want to watch it, you're going to have to find it. Maybe you have Paramount, maybe you can find it on it's easy to find on DVD, and I imagine it's easy to find on Blu-ray as well. I recommend it. It's a very funny comedy. It wouldn't get made now. And I give it 7 out of 10. A decent 7 out of 10. So, if you like the video, make sure you hit the like button and give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone if you think they might get something from it. Subscribe, and when you do, ring the notification bell. Comment. This is Benji on Benji 84.0. Hasta pronto.